Hi everyone! Welcome to my English 102 course. My name's Laura Bovell. I'm going to be your instructor for this course over the next 16 weeks. So I thought I'd make a short, hopefully, video to kind of introduce you to the course, the assignments we have for week 1, and me a little bit. Although some of you I'm really excited to see. I've had in my 101 course before, and I'm glad to have you back. So let me just minimize my face here and we'll get started. So first of all, welcome. I am so excited to have you here. I know that 2020 has not been ideal for many of us, and we are still kind of in the middle of what I would consider a pandemic, but hopefully we can really make some good connections and still do a lot of good in our course, even among the chaos. But I do want to express to you all how empathetic I am and how understanding I am of the accommodations that you might need over the course of the semester or the challenges that you may be facing. So I want to encourage you, if you do get to a point where you're kind of struggling with the course or need a extension or need some extra help, please reach out. My sort of philosophy as an instructor is that I'm here to guide you, to help you. I'm not here to sort of lord over you, but we're in this together. So if you don't know me, like I said, my name is Laura. I work full-time at the Granite City campus. I've been at SWIC for a year. It's my 1-year anniversary. Before that, I taught English as a second language at SIUE in Edwardsville, and that's also where I got my master's. So I have a master's in teaching English to speakers of other languages and a undergrad in public communication. So essentially, all of that means that I love English and I love talking, and I think that words have power, and that is sort of what we're going to learn through this first project of ours. So you should remember some things from English 101, including ideas like the writing process, forming arguments, supporting your ideas, having an audience. All of that you learned in English 101 still applies in 102, but we're kind of just adding to it. So now that you have this basis of these are my ideas and I know how to support them, what you want to do is start adding in research to your ideas. So what we're going to be doing in our first writing project is forming research questions based on a social issue that you feel strongly about, going over different methods for completing research, talking about different types of sources, evaluating them for reliability, and then building an argument that's sort of inspired by that research. So you'll notice maybe some similarities between English 101 and 102. For some of you, this might be more comfortable type of writing, because you can sort of utilize the expertise of other people. But I do want to also emphasize that it's not just, we're not just sort of retelling what other people are saying, but you're taking that new information and then adjusting your own beliefs. So when we talk about what research is, this is a research writing course. English 102 is, formally called Rhetoric and Composition 2, but its main focus is on research. So I think when a lot of people think of research, you might immediately think of someone in a lab with a syringe looking through a microscope. And although that is a type of research, the type that we're going to do is different. It's not so, I don't want you to think of it as this solitary, tedious process of just one person looking at information and then saying what they found. What research really is saying, okay, what do I want to know? And what gaps do I have in my own knowledge? Then you take those questions, those gaps, and you try and fill those gaps with the research that you're doing. You're taking that new information and analyzing it. And then what you do finally is sort of synthesize all of that together into something new. So synthesis is a big focus of our course. It's not just finding what other people have said and then retelling it in an essay. That is not what research is. Research is about having an academic conversation. It's about you having the opportunity to come to the table and say, I want to know this. I'm going to use my research to answer myself, and then say, this is now what I believe about that information. So one of the things you may have noticed in our syllabus, apologize, this image is blurry, is that our first writing project is going to be focusing on a social issue. So when you hear the word social issue, maybe you might think of some of the keywords here, like immigration, unemployment, poverty, homelessness, women's rights, human rights, climate change. All of those are issues that affect humanity, essentially. And the reason why I choose to focus on a social issue in this first project is because many of us have areas that we are passionate about, ideas that we have, change we want to enact, but don't feel that we have the power to do so. And I think that research can be very empowering in giving you information to be part of that change. I think that this is our opportunity to say, if money weren't an issue, this is how I would start to address this issue. So I also always reminded of this quote by Lily Tomlin. It says, I always wondered why somebody doesn't do something about that. Then I realized I was somebody. I really like this concept because this is exactly what I'm trying to kind of encourage with this first project. When you're thinking about social issues that you care about, issues that affect your community, your family, your friends, you, I want you to think about the fact that these are not just things that are happening to other people, but I want you to think about what is something your research can focus on that really affects you. Before we go any further, I do want to introduce you also to our Blackboard course. I'll try and keep this short. Many of you are probably familiar with Blackboard. If you log on blackboard.swick.edu, you'll find our course English 102 IN 4. And I would recommend using the desktop on your laptop or computer. If you're on a tablet or a cell phone, I would recommend going to the web site and not the mobile app, because you won't see as much on the app. But there's 3 areas that we've got here. This first is announcements, the syllabus, the schedule. The schedule I'm still updating, so just keep that in mind. The writing project, discussion board, all of this in the second section are your major assignments. And then this third section is your grades, emailing me, any tools you need. Something new we're doing this semester is Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to send out a link again to our Microsoft team for our class, but one of your assignments for week 1 is going to be posting in the student chat here. So I will, I'll be honest with you, I know that Microsoft Teams is new. I know that it's something I'm still learning, but I really want you guys to be as comfortable as possible with these 2 applications because you will need both for our course. All right. So that brings me to our assignments for week 1. You're going to do an introduction to yourself, very casual, just short and sweet on Microsoft Teams. Please do that by Wednesday. The instructions for that are on Blackboard. Your first discussion board post is going to be done by Friday. You've got some readings to do for this week that the discussion board should utilize, so make sure that you're looking at the readings first. And then there's a library and resource scavenger hunt by Sunday. So the scavenger hunt is really just to introduce you to the concept of research, using databases, the library. We're going to be using APA format in this class instead of MLA that you all might be used to. So all of that is sort of involved in the resource scavenger hunt. So the goal of this week is to sort of get you guys just comfortable with the idea of what research is before we jump into your group project that will start next week. So just be prepared. Next week I'll be putting you in groups based on your posts this week and the sense I get of the roles you all will want to play. And then just be prepared to discuss the role that you would like in your group and your chosen social issue. So I do want to kind of emphasize that it's not about your social issue doesn't have to be something you've experienced personally. There is a way to ask a question about your issue that does involve your own interests. So say your group chooses something like, let's say like women's rights, and they want to talk about wage gap in St. Louis. And maybe that's not something that you personally feel quite strongly about, but if you ask the right question in that issue, in that topic, you really can find some way to involve your own personal ideas. All right, so I do want you to keep an open mind. I know that group projects can be challenging, but they are useful. They are good. I've gotten really great feedback from students in the past about this project, so I want you to keep an open mind. All right, we're all going to do this together. Yay. All right, just a note about using emails. Oh no, let me go back. Huh. All right. I don't know why this is in white. All right, sorry about that. A note about emails. I am first and foremost a writing instructor, and it's my job to make sure that you are conscious of the rhetoric that you use, the writing that you do, the words that you use, and how they are perceived by other people. That is all of what rhetoric is. So I wanted to make a note. This image to the left is really just a joke, but it shows an email from a student that says, "Hey, LOL, when is your office hours? By the way, where is your office?" And this may look a little cringy. I am in no way implying that I haven't gotten emails like this, but I just want to remind everyone that emails are the way that you interact with most of your instructors, and I want to make sure that you're giving the best impression of yourself and that you have your needs met without giving this sort of perception of yourself, because we're not meeting face to face, right? So the only interaction we have is through these computer mediated channels, right? So email is so, so important. And I want you to know this now, okay? I don't want you to get out of classes at SWIC and send that really embarrassing email that you didn't mean to send and be sort of embarrassed by it. I've been there, and I don't want you to be. So just keep in mind, please make sure you have a greeting and a signature, a subject line to your email, and make sure that you answer these questions for me. Who are you? What course are you in? And what assignment are you asking about? These are probably the main gaps I see that my students have when they email me. And this isn't to say that I won't respond to you. I will. But I think that those little steps, like saying, "Hi, Laura. My name's John, and I'm in your English 102 class. I have a question about the scavenger hunt assignment that's due on Friday." That, reading that, now I immediately know who you are, what you need, and I can respond immediately without going through my rosters and saying, okay, like, which class is that? What assignment is he talking about? It's just more efficient for all of us. So please keep this in mind. I think, like I said, when you're emailing on a phone, especially, and you don't have like that kind of separation in your mind of like a text and an email, they are different things. They are not the same. All right. So that is all for my little intro video. I hope that this was informative for you all. Please, please, please click around our Blackboard course, get comfortable with the information there, get on Microsoft Teams sooner rather than later, and I really look forward to working with you.